Hi guys, I just wanted to go over MetaTrader 5 for you and sort of show you the basics of how it works and go a little bit over foreign exchange trading just in case it isn't clear yet. If at the end of this video you're still not sure what's going on, I recommend downloading MetaTrader 5 and starting a demo account, which I can show you how to do, because they'll give you basically a free $10,000. It's like Monopoly money, it doesn't really matter. And it allows you to actually go and trade on the foreign exchange market. And I think that the best way to understand how this works is actually just getting your hands dirty and playing around with it. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that if you're not sure exactly how foreign exchange trading works, I have a great tutorial series on how to do that. It's like an hour long. I recommend watching it if you're not sure how foreign exchange works and you want to understand what is the data that you're visualizing, right? So some of this should look familiar to you. We have a price chart, which we can make it into a bar chart, candlestick chart, line chart, but either way it all represents the price of the exchange rate between two currencies. So this is on a 5-minute time frame. We can switch it between different time frames just like you guys can in your visualization tool. We also have this data window open that shows us the current values of wherever the cursor is at. So something that might not look super familiar to you is this market watch. So the market watch is the list of the different currency pairs that are being traded. So what's a currency pair? A currency pair is two different currencies and the exchange rate between them. So foreign exchange is broken up into two things, and it's either a buy or a sell. You can either buy a currency pair or you can sell a currency pair. And what that actually means is when you're buying, you are purchasing what is known as the base currency. And in this case, or in any currency pair, the first currency is called the base currency and the second is called the quote currency. So when you're doing a buy, you're buying the base currency. So you start with US dollars and then you translate that into euros with a buy. And what you hope happens at that point is that the value of the euro goes up so that when you exchange it back to US dollars, you have more US dollars. And that's a buy. A sell is when you actually start with the base currency and you sell it to get the quote currency. So in this case, I would start with euros and exchange it for US dollars. So it's sort of the opposite of a buy. So what happens there is I hope that the value of the US dollar goes up and the value of the euro goes down, so that when I trade back my US dollars for euros, I have more euros than what I started with. And that's basically the name of the game. You just want more of what you started with. So what does that look like on MetaTrader? How does that actually work? We can open up a new order. So something that MetaTrader lets us do is that we're able to actually go and analyze the price chart in different ways. I'm able to draw on it. I'm able to open up technical analysis tools to basically make myself better informed in making decisions on when I should open or close positions. I'm not going to go and actually try to be like a trader right now, but I'll show you some of the tools. So for example, I can draw a trend line on the price chart that lets me see, oh, okay, there's this pattern that we keep getting lower. Maybe over here that pattern gets broken because we see that it goes low and then it goes high again. Then we have a lower high. So that sort of shows us that this might keep going down a little bit, right? It still seems like this isn't done dropping. All right, so I see that as a trader, and maybe I decide, and this is on a 1-minute time frame, by the way, so this is all happening very quickly. So I see that as a trader, and maybe I decide, you know what, I'm going to do a new order. And that new order is going to be me selling 100,000 euros and getting USD because of it. So you can see right now that I just opened a position over here with a sell. And that information is shown to you down here on this little trade tab that it says the symbol that I traded on, the time that it happened, what type it was, Don't worry about the volume for now. If you want to learn more about foreign exchange trading, that'll be clear what that is. And then the exchange rate that I did it for. And now we can see my profit. So right now I'm actually losing money because the value of the USD is going down instead of going up, which is what I want. So if this chart continues to go down, I'll actually make money, because if it goes down, that means that the US dollar its value is increasing. If it goes up, it means that the euro's value is increasing. And that's pretty much all that there is to it. So I'm actually making profit right now, so I'm going to close the position. So that's pretty easy. You just right click on it and you click close position. You can't see stuff when I right click, but I just closed it, right? And you can see it really small, but I did a sell over here, and then I bought that same position to close it. So usually when you do a sell, you buy that position to close it. When you do a buy, you sell to close it. So it goes back and forth. Whatever you do to start, you do the opposite to close. So you can see that represented on the chart right over here. Another thing that MetaTrader lets you do is actually open up several windows to sort of compare and contrast different time frames, which can be useful if you're doing like day trading and stuff, right? So now I have this other Euro USD chart, and I'm going to make it daily, right? I'm going to make it into candlesticks as well. And if I'm a day trader, maybe I want to compare these two charts to see maybe where the market is headed, or what's happened in the past, what happened yesterday, how can I use previous history to basically determine what's going to happen today, right? It's all sort of a guessing game, but it's like a civilized guessing game. So I said it a little earlier, but this is just sort of a final piece of what MetaTrader can do, but it's a huge part of it, right? MetaTrader also allows us to put technical analysis tools on the price chart. So something that you can do is the moving average, right? You guys are able to turn on the moving average and put it underneath your price chart as a histogram, I think is what it was. But MetaTrader lets us do more or less the same thing. It pops up as a line chart on the actual price chart, but we can see that this is a moving average tool. You can actually see the value of the current moving average right in this data window. And this is just one of the many technical analysis tools that MetaTrader provides, because there's easily like over 30 different tools that I can apply to this chart. And in fact, MetaTrader allows you to make your own technical indicators and stuff if you wanted to. You can go and create different ways of displaying information and stuff on this price chart. Just as an example, I'll show you another one. Let's not worry about what it means, because that's going into too much detail, I think. But let's just put a random one here. This is called MACD. Don't worry about what it does, but just know that there's a lot more of different types of technical analysis tools that a trader can use to make a decision on what they want to do with their money. When they want to close and open positions, they can use these different tools to do so. So I think one more thing, just as a final word. MetaTrader is pretty powerful. Like, there's a lot of different tools that it has. One other thing that it can do is actually essentially allow you to create trading robots. So you can go and add what's called an expert advisor. You can see some over here. These are actually some of the ones that we have, but you can basically put an automated trading tool on the price chart, and it'll open and close trades for you. And hopefully, if you have a smart robot, it'll actually make profit. So that's like the final thing that MetaTrader can do. There's a lot of little things here and there that I didn't cover, but that's like the basics of it. I showed you guys the different currencies. I showed you how to open up a position. So with the currency, so like I showed you, you go to new order, you go to the symbols, and you could pick whichever symbol you want. You could buy or sell. And that's pretty much the super basics of how this works. If you want more information, I'll send you guys a video tutorial on how foreign exchange is actually done. But once you understand that and play around with MetaTrader a little bit, I think you'll have a better idea of how this works. Thanks, guys. Let me know if you have questions.